Maximize your marks using apostrophes. Apostrophes are used in contractions, for example can't, isn't, shan't, to show possession, for example one man's dog. In the expression of time, for example a day's pay. Apostrophes are not used to show plurals, for example 2 videos. Let's start by looking at contractions. An apostrophe can be used to replace a letter or letters, for example isn't from is not, don't from do not, can't from cannot. When this happens, a new word called a contraction is formed. Using an apostrophe to replace a missing letter is not common in formal writing, where you'd expect all the words to be written in full. Using an apostrophe to replace a letter is common, but is generally reserved for informal writing. It is used in this way to reflect how people really speak. For example, the weather's bad. Written in full, the weather is bad. In this example, the apostrophe replaces the letter I, and the 2 words are joined to make one. This new word is called a contraction. Another example would be, don't worry about it. In full, do not worry about it. In this example, the apostrophe replaces the letter O, and the 2 words are joined to make another contraction. Now, let's look at using apostrophes for possession. An apostrophe and the letter S can be used to show possession. First thing you have to think about is whether the possessor is singular or plural. This is important because it determines where your apostrophe goes. Apostrophes are used to show possession. For example, the dog's dinner and the dog's dinner. The tough question is where to put the apostrophe. Does it go before or after the S? The quick answer, for one dog or one possessor, put the apostrophe before the S. For more than one dog or more than one possessor, put the apostrophe after the S. For one dog, the dog's dinner. For 2 dogs, the dog's dinner. Now let's look at using apostrophes for expressing time. Apostrophes can be used in the expression of time. For example, 1 year's insurance, 2 days leave, a week's pay. Again, the tough question is where to put the apostrophe. Does it go before or after the S? A good way to remember the rule for this is, when it is 1 unit of time, the apostrophe goes before the S. For example, 1 day's pay. When it is more than 1 unit of time, it goes after the S. For example, 2 days pay. Now let's look at how apostrophes are misused. Do not be tempted to use an apostrophe just because a word ends in S. For example, 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, time flies. Remember, apostrophes are used to show possession, for example a dog's dinner, or to replace missing letters, for example don't, or as an expression of time, for example a day's pay.